Great. Thank you so much, Barb. That was incredibly helpful and very grounding. Exactly what caregivers need. And we've been hearing a lot and talking to a lot of folks, right? We're maybe going to different senior centers and just talking to people in the community. I want to open it now to any questions that you all have. And if you don't have any questions, we have a few questions from hearing from, again, from so many people. So didn't know if anyone else had questions before we dig into those.
I was just curious, when you talked about the inventory, Barb, is there, like, for organizing documents and stuff, do you have a form that you would start with? Is there something we could tell people, like, I'm not yet ready to bring in a daily money manager, but I want to just go do that inventory. How would I even start? What are the categories?
So there are lots of books now. You'll go and it's like, what if let's see, I think there's one, I'm dead, now what, or something like that. And so those are books that actually have all the categories, and just, it's a really nice reminder, and you can do it on paper, or you can do one of these cloud-based solutions. So, it's good to start with your accounts. Where are they? What are the account numbers? If there's different people on each account, what that looks like, the investments, and you can start a spreadsheet like that, and it's nice because you can just put in the values at different times. So it's also it would double as just a little bit of a historical look at those accounts, and give you an idea of how much your worth is at any time. And then the bills. So look at the checking account, look at your credit cards. Where are the bills that are getting paid each month, and where are they getting paid? Which credit card, which bank account, or are you still writing checks or what have you? And then where are the insurance policies? What are they? Is there long-term care insurance? It's good to review that to make sure you know exactly what has to happen before that will start paying out, because they all have rules. And some of them are quite good as far as how much they pay out. So it's good to know if you have that. Sometimes people, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they have a long-term care policy. And, it's just not, they don't realize that they have that.
For sure.
Or, people with dementia, they just don't remember, so.
Yep. So Barb, I know Pam had the same question. Do you know the name of that app or program on the inventory piece? And Pam, feel free to expand if you're there.
Oh, I see. There's another person.
Yes, you mentioned something about scanning, and I didn't know if that was something you said you were excited about trying out.
Yeah, so it's a company called Trustworthy, and I've started seeing ads on TV. So they're pretty big. Oh, sorry, I meant to turn my phone off. And so yeah, they've got all these different categories and ways you can scan stuff in, take pictures and put it in, and but I haven't actually tried it yet. So I did sign up for their training, but I haven't. That just happened. So,
okay.
But there are other companies as well. And then you can also just scan everything yourself, put it into files, and just make sure you've got it backed up somewhere where you can get it.
Great.
Did that answer your question, Pam?
I had one other question on something else you said right before that. You were talking about, what was it? Freezing your credit. So can you expand a little bit more on that? And what do you mean by freezing your credit? You can freeze your credit and then do something. What were you saying?
Yeah, so you can go to each credit bureau, and there's a spot there to freeze your credit. So it's Experian, TransUnion, and all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank on the third one. But Equifax. So the three, pardon?
Equifax.
Yeah, I know it was another E. So you can go there. There's a thing about freeze your credit, And what that does is it doesn't allow anybody to hit your credit report to get the, like a credit card company does when they pull your credit. So it doesn't let anybody do that. So then it keeps new credit cards from being created or bank loans in your name. And it's also good to do that, to make sure that I was reading that we had something on digital legacy as well, and all the things after you pass away that people need to have access to. And I think one of them was make sure that those kinds of things are frozen, so that, because some people will go and look to find people who pass away and then pretend they're them and do nefarious things. So, so you freeze it, and then you can either log in and unfreeze it quickly. Like, let's say you're at Costco and you want to get a credit card. You can log in and do that. I think there's also like a phone number you can call, or they make it so it's not too hard to do. And then you can freeze it again once you've finished your business. But it's a good safety measure.
Just to follow up with that, so as a caregiver, can you go in on your parents' account and freeze it on their behalf, or do you have to have them freeze their account?
Yeah, you're supposed to do it yourself. So, but if you can log in, you could log in with them, log in for them. I mean, these are the kinds of things that I do all the time because I work with people that aren't capable of doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's going to have to be a Thanksgiving thing, Barb, because most who are not with their moms. I'm going to just disclose that that's my twin sister that's talking to you right now. So
okay.
She's in Paris, so she can't actually do that. But I will see her now do that. And I actually have frozen my credit. And the one thing I would advise to everyone is remember when you do, because when you're actually applying for another store credit card, not that I need another one, you have to call your credit card, call them and say, unfreeze it so that I can do this. And then freeze it back.
Yeah, and sometimes they give you a code too. But see, that's the kind of thing I keep in my password manager, so I always have access to it.
For sure.
So,
Tracy, did you have a question? I thought I saw you typing in there. If not, then I have another family dynamics question, because this is what Rick and I hear a lot about. So a lot of families have multiple siblings, myself included, in different states. What advice do you have for dividing responsibilities or keeping everyone aligned when one person ends up carrying the bulk of the financial task, which is our brother?
it is nice in families to be able to divide and conquer. So a lot of times there'll be one person and takes care of more of the healthcare stuff. Another one's the financial. Another one might, in one of my families, another one's the one that takes care of the cottage up north, which is more work than you would think. So that's helpful, because like we had one, like with my brother, he was the one in town with my parents. So he was more the on the ground person. I was the financial person. And my other brother was the mom whisperer when she would get upset. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. And then to be able to, and sometimes this is when they'd want to bring in someone outside, is if there's not good family dynamics. In one case, there's two siblings that don't trust each other. One's capable of being the POA, but doesn't want to do it because it has so many problems with her sister. So they just hired me so that they don't have to be doing that all the time. And and then a niece is going to be the financial POA for the mother. So the girls don't have another problem between them. There's high net worth individuals, and they're just too busy jetting around between their houses and what have you. So they've got daily money managers. And as far as the you know, if it becomes too overwhelming, you know, let's say you're an only child and you're trying to do all these things for your parents. And if you're the healthcare power of attorney and the financial power of attorney, and it's just too much. So if you can outsource some of that, so many people think they have to do it all themselves. And it's really important to figure out the pieces that you can outsource, feel good about. You know, if you have somebody come in and cook your meals once a week for a week, I mean, that's huge. Just to make life a little bit easier for you, because it's a big load, especially if you have kids and you're in the sandwich generation. It can be completely overwhelming. So, yes, Mimi.
It's an uncomfortable question, but is it typically, do daily managers charge by the hour, or is it like a by month, we get into this contract and whatever the needs are, it is X dollars, or is it by the hour?
I do by the hour because it's different every month for me. And sometimes my guy will have his checkbook and then it's gone. Like, it was in your hand 5 minutes ago. What'd you do with it? I don't know. And I'll spend 20 minutes just looking for the checkbook. So yeah, you never know what
Yeah.
you're going to walk into. So I think the
Got it.
people who work